It's taken a chat with a cricketer to reveal it, but New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon has inadvertently exposed the unlivable condition of Premier House, the country's official residence. It came as Luxon hosted the Australian and New Zealand cricket teams at the property, confiding in Australian batsman Usman Khawaja that it's so bad the New Zealand PM won't live in it. New Zealand correspondent Jack Nyhoff reports.
The New Zealand Prime Minister in a game of backyard cricket just last week with the Australian team on the lawns of Premier House, the Kiwi equivalent of the Lodge in Canberra. It's here last week Christopher Luxon reportedly told Usman Khawaja the residence was condemned. Comments the recently elected leader now denies, instead saying,
"At the moment, in the months that have actually been in this year, there's actually some minor repairs and maintenance taking place. It means I can't go and move into there at this point."
And it's a residence that's been good enough for every Prime Minister up to Christopher Luxon.
The Kiwi PM admitting he stayed there over Christmas.
I think we declared we were there 1 or 2 nights, some of us, yeah.
And we think she was standing round about here when the photo was taken.
Tim Vogel's family donated the last official Prime Minister residence to the Crown in the mid-1960s before buying it back in 2019.
You have a large, grand old dame of a house, but it needs a lot of maintenance and a lot of work, and probably over the years that's all been deferred until it gets to a point in time where you actually have to do something. And so I'm assuming with Premier House, if it's got the same issues as here, it's cold, it's not properly insulated, it's not double glazed, probably a lack of good heating.
You've seen what's happening when you've had governments that actually haven't faced up to decisions.
A leaked secret document from the Premier House Board estimates costs to refurbish the PM's official residence to be as high as $28 million. Sky News understands the government will try and avoid paying that much, revealing they've already started minor repairs. It's around $18 million less than Australian taxpayers had to fork out, even with multi-million-dollar cost blowouts. The lodge was refurbished in 2011. 5 years later, Malcolm Turnbull moved in when renovations finally finished. Prime Minister Tony Abbott missed out.
The committee that was set up to look at Premier House came back with quite an ambitious plan that would involve effectively rebuilding the whole house.
Tim thinks he could give Vogel House, a similar-sized property, a facelift for less too.
If you wanted to do a proper renovation, I would estimate anywhere from $2 to $4 million.
Following criticism, Christopher Luxon says he will repay a $48,000 a year entitlement he claimed to live in his mortgage-free Wellington apartment.
It might well be within the rules, but the reality is it was becoming a distraction.
A property in need of maintenance and a government pressed for cash.
I want the community using the place. I want that to be Grand Central Station. That's why I brought the cricket teams there.
Jack Nyhoff, Sky News, Wellington.